Imagine you're 2 years old and you're having an opportunity to go to a facility like this that is brand new, it's warm, it's inviting, it's being taught by people who have a tremendous passion for early childhood education. And it's being supported by several of the major partners in the state of Nebraska: the University of Nebraska, the University of Nebraska Foundation, the Buffett Early Childhood Fund, and Head Start and Early Start, as well as Lincoln Public Schools, with a commitment that the first 5 years of a child's life are going to make all the difference in the world in their life trajectory. And to be a part of a concept like this that we're calling, and has been called, the Educare building, which is attached to Belmont Elementary School on 14th Street. It is a tremendous opportunity for us to take a look at how young people, young children develop academically and socially, so that when they begin kindergarten, they're at grade level and they're ready to progress. We are so proud of this building. We're so proud of the people who comprise the building. But even more importantly, we're proud of our community for the support of this concept. It's going to make a difference. And we know, as we have heard many, many times, and is borne out in the research, that the best investment we can make in education is in the first 5 years of a child's life. So sitting here in a kind of a crunched up, I don't know what you would call it. It's a platform with some books that I'm sure when the students get here, they're going to absolutely love climbing on. Quite frankly, everything here is new. And it's, again, it's something that we're very, very proud of and very, very thankful for. In Lincoln Public Schools, it's February, and with February, what I think about is maybe only another month and a half of winter. We've already taken 2 snow days. I know that students are they're very appreciative of it, and parents maybe not so much, but we're on track with the things that we've identified as strategic priorities. We're talking more and more about our career concept and our Career Academy. In fact, working with Southeast Community College, the Department of Education, and business and industry partners, we've recently testified to a legislative bill that provides some funding for us for dual enrollment. And we're going to continue to plow forward with a 2016 anticipated opening of that concept. You can expect more information to be forthcoming in the very, very near future. We're still looking at technology, and Dr. Stabum and Kirk Langer from my office are working on with a group of internal folks to really create that definition of the 21st century classroom. We continue to participate in national conversations and state conversations as we look at what is a good, vibrant technology plan that represents some transformation from printed text to digital delivery. And that's going to be exciting as we go forward as well, too. And everybody knows, as you look at just our world, how things are changing dramatically. We continue to think about facilities. Very, very shortly, we'll be talking about our 10-year facility plan. We'll be looking at what's been accomplished in the last 10 years, but even more importantly, we're going to be looking at what are our needs going forward for the next 10 years. Attending recent community meetings, we're still continuing in rapid enrollment growth. One of the numbers that really resonates with me right now is the fact that in the last 10 years, our community has grown 12%, but yet our district enrollment has grown 14%. And that number suggests that more and more children are coming either into or back into the Lincoln Public Schools, and that doesn't represent future growth. We know that there are a lot of rooftops in plan and development. We know that business and industries are beginning to expand. And we know that Lincoln and Lancaster County economic development are going to continue to attract new industries. Challenge for us as a district is how do we accommodate that in a rapidly growing student environment. But we're up for that challenge, and certainly you'll be hearing more about where we think we should be headed in the next 3, 5, and 10 years. Other than that, I would tell you we're getting ready for, of course, assessments will be coming up soon, and kudos to our teachers that prepare our students to be successful on those assessments. And spring break, which is something that I know that students and faculty look to as a well-deserved break. But really, today's program is about this exciting, shiny new concept that is an alternative to what's been made available to children in Lincoln in the past, which was a half-a-day program. This is an all-day, every-day, year-round, rich, robust, vibrant early childhood experience that's being directed and being taught by top professionals that we've been able to attract to the concept. But importantly for you and for me are the partners that have come to the table with their own backgrounds and representing institutions that have been around for a long time and said, we're going to make a difference. And from the president of the University of Nebraska to the president of the Lincoln Board of Education to a lot of our business and industry leaders, we do intend to lead the country in early childhood. This program is going to make a difference, and now it's time to listen to the people who are making this possible. I'm very excited right now to introduce to you three partners of the Educare network that have made this dream a reality. And we're standing in a classroom at the Educare site. There aren't any students in here at this moment, but there will be shortly. But truly, the work that has gone into making this possible is directly attributed to the three people that are with me today. So what I'd like to do right now is just give them an opportunity to introduce themselves, talk about their involvement in this, and maybe a few words about what this means.
I'm Jessie Rasmussen with the Buffett Early Childhood Fund, and we're terribly excited about this partnership too, because being connected to an elementary school, being a partner with the Lincoln Public Schools really conveys the message that learning begins at birth and that we are part of the learning system of Lincoln. So this is really exciting for us. And then I also represent the National Educare Learning Network. So it means now that Educare of Lincoln is part of a national effort to really offer high quality birth to 5 services for kids most at risk.
Great. Thank you, Jessie.
Well, I'm Marjorie Kostelnik. I'm Dean of the College of Education and Human Sciences at the University of Nebraska. And we're excited for two reasons. One, we are the home of the Buffett Early Childhood Institute that has just begun, and this is one of the very first actions that are being taken by that institute to spread the model of quality early childhood education for children who are most at risk from birth to age 8 throughout the state of Nebraska, but starting with this particular Educare right here in Lincoln. And from the university standpoint, we are going to have teachers here, we are going to have students, college students here who are going to be learning about high quality care, and we're also going to be involved in the evaluation of the model. So we have a lot of things that we're looking forward to.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much.
And I'm Aaron Bowen. I'm Chief Operating Officer and Director Early Head Start and Head Start at Community Action. And I'm most excited for the families and the children. This expands the number of full-day, full-year slots that we have to offer. And as grantee of Early Head Start and Head Start services, this just adds so many resources and more focus to early childhood development in our community. And so we're just really excited to be a part of this.
You know, again, a partnership like this is fairly unique in that we all come to this concept from different orientations, but certainly centered on doing something different that's going to change life trajectory for children and families. I heard J.B. Milliken say about a year ago to a meeting of First Five that Nebraska intends to lead the country in early childhood. And I guess I would just say, you know, how are we going to do that?
Well, I think in a couple of ways. One is really demonstrating how this partnership with the elementary school reflects that early childhood education is a continuum from birth through 3rd grade. And I think we have a wonderful opportunity to establish ongoing working relationships with the staff and professionals at the elementary school so that we can begin to align expectations, to begin to work on common issues about early learning. And that will be a demonstration to the rest of the country about how to do this work.
Jesse, before you turn the mic over, how was Lincoln selected for this?
Well, the truth of the matter is, we always say that we wait for the phone to ring, and the interest came from within the community. It came from people at the University of Nebraska, but it also came from the Community Action Partnership and their interest in stepping up what they were doing. So we respond to that community interest, and we count on the community partners to really pull this off. But having said that, what's really appealing here is this really powerful partnership with the university. The opportunity to connect the most recent research with practice, and to use the practice to inform what more research needs to be done. And it just is going to be a new kind of relationship, different than what we have anyplace else in the network.
Marjorie, going back to the comment that I heard J.B. Milliken say, president of the university, about leading the country, it struck me as just an excellent statement about mission, and how fortunate we were as a school system with many students that would benefit from a program like this, to have a university that truly believed that early childhood was a great investment in research as well as in training and development. So would you comment on that?
Well, JB has also said that he wants the University of Nebraska to be the university that is known as the best university for serving the needs of the state. And certainly in the state of Nebraska and in Lincoln, children from birth to age 8 are a high priority. They are, we often talk about children as the hope for the future, but they really are. And if they are the hope for the future, then we need to know how to best serve them and how to serve their families. So this is a real opportunity for two-way learning. Certainly we have things to offer the partnership, but we have things that we're going to learn from all of the partners, and that's to our benefit. We have things to learn from kids and families and the community. And so this is a real plus for all of us, and we're really excited to be part of it.
I couldn't agree more. And Aaron, most people listening to the show have heard of Head Start and Early Head Start. Why and how is this different?
Mm-hmm. Well, Head Start and Early Head Start is the most comprehensive early childhood development program available. And what Educare brings to this is, number one, new partners, and also just an expanded partnership. We've had partnerships with LPS. We've had a partnership with the university for years. What this brings to the table is a facility built for children and their families. And I think the level of research, the level of knowledge, the level of expertise, our families are deserving of this center, and we want them to feel that way. But this brings the ability to really look more closely, evaluate how we're doing to make sure that the gains these kids make are beyond kindergarten or beyond first, second, and third grade. I want to know eventually, are they graduating from high school at a higher rate? And so what this does is just expands, because of the generosity of the partners, it expands what we do so much and just allows a level of eyesight and perspective on this work that is really unheard of outside of the Educare network. And so that's why it's just so exciting to engage our parents in this process and show them that you can do this, you can have a different experience in school, and your kids can have a different experience in school than maybe you ever had. So.
A superintendent in Lincoln Schools with 37,000 students, and between roughly 44% of our students free and reduced, poverty indicator. We just feel so blessed and so fortunate to have this kind of a partnership in place and this concept in place. And we're looking forward to watching that longitudinal data surface in terms of how these students do after having this kind of a robust and quality experience. So, from LPS to our major partners here, and also to all of our community supporters and our political supporters, we say thank you, because this is, again, going to be a game changer, and it's definitely going to improve the quality of life for children and families, but also our community. So before we sign off, any last words?
I just wanted to add one more reason why having an Educare in Lincoln is so important, and that's because it's the home of our state capital. And we always look for Educare to not only benefit the 150 to 200 children in the school, but also to help influence practice and policy. So having a place to bring policymakers, to bring state administrators, so they can see what quality looks like, that they can see what early learning is for infants and toddlers, it's very, very powerful in terms of influencing the decisions that they make.
Great. Thank you, Jesse.
I guess the last thing I'd like to say is we have more than 100 people, 100 faculty members at the university who are excited about this project. They range across the whole campus, and they range from people who are interested in the very practical details of teaching and learning to people who are very engaged in research. And I think the research possibilities of our understanding best practice and being able to share those best practices to improve the lives of children throughout Nebraska and throughout the country are very high.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I just think too few people know what amazing things infants, toddlers, and preschoolers can do in a classroom. And for people to come in and see that, it's amazing because it doesn't just happen once they get to school. They're learning and accomplishing and doing things every day. And so I want people to come here and see what happens in those classrooms. So.
Yesterday at the State Chamber meeting, a nationally known speaker, Dr. Heckman, was sharing with us compelling research and compelling data about the importance of investing in the most important time in a child's development, and that is during the early childhood years, and how that yield on investment is the greatest now than at any other time in their developmental life. And we know that through this concept and this vibrant partnership, we're going to be able to prove that to be correct. So again, to Aaron and Marjorie and Jesse, thank you so much for coming to the table and being a partner with LPS. We're excited to see where this goes from here, and we know it's going to be a stunning, positive result for us. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the people that are making the concept work and taking what our partners described as a dream that turned into a vision, that turned into an operational agreement to open up this fantastic facility and concept. But certainly the success of Educare is going to be delivered by the people that are responsible for, one, the administrative part of this, and then of course what happens in the classroom. So with me is Dr. Julia Dads and teacher Tracy Schmidt, who are going to talk with us a little bit about what exactly is taking place. And Julia, you know, we were so, as a member of the board, just I was so impressed, as our board members were, to be able to have somebody with your credentials and your interests and your background come to Lincoln, Nebraska to head this up. What attracted you to this position?
Well, I worked with Head Start for 7 years as a director, and during that time I saw the tremendous potential that early childhood has and the fact that we needed some extras. We needed to add in some resources to really make that dream come alive and really meet our goals of making, allowing children to become not only ready for school but ready for life. So that long-term lifelong learning, and we say that so easily, and to achieve it, it takes a whole slew of inputs, of resources. And so this is a dream and a vision and an operational agreement that actually puts those pieces into place. And that's what excited me, is I thought this is a place where I'll get to see teachers flourish and be able to do best practices that they know but don't always get the support for, so that the children and the families then get what they need and the schools are able to receive the students ready to learn.
You know, I was thinking this morning as I was driving to our board meeting that, you know, it's one thing to have an idea and get excited about an idea. It's another one to make it work, and you've had to make it work. So what's been the upside to that administrative piece of this? Because it's a brand new concept, and everything is new, including the building, of course. But you know, the teachers, the curriculum, the relationship with Belmont Elementary School, and of course dealing with the board that represents the partners. What's been the exciting part of that for you, and what's been the challenging part?
Well, you kind of named it, which is there's a whole host of equal stakeholders. There's not anybody that you just named that doesn't care any less than the other entity, the other investor. And so in that sense, that's exciting, because this is the whole community really putting their time, energy, money, thoughts where their ideals and mouths have been, so to speak. And that's also the challenge, is that all of these entities, people, and agencies, organizations, they all have other things they're doing where they really are deeply invested in caring, and they bring those concerns to the table, and we need to take those concerns seriously here in our program. So we have to be able to mix and match constantly, figuring out which priority needs to take precedence in this moment, which one is coming up.
I can only imagine that that has to be a little overwhelming at times, just because, again, it's so new, and you're plowing new ground each day. But, from my perspective, doing a great job, and there's going to be bumps along the way, but, certainly this is going to be a concept that's going to work, and it's going to work very well. Talk briefly about people that are being brought into the Educare concept, the professionals, educators, those that are supporting education. How is that going? And then we're going to have an opportunity to hear from one of our great teachers.
Yeah. Well, and that's what it is. It is education. And so everybody with an interest in education, not just early childhood education, is really wanting to learn about this and become involved. So we have special education services from Lincoln Public School System coming in our door, delivering services, but also wanting to learn. So I had a director from the early childhood special education department come through just day before yesterday and say, can I just see what's going on here? I want to understand, because she knows that there are implications for her work, and that her work has implications for us. That's just one example. Then there's the university, where there's research, and we really want that research in our door sooner rather than later. A lot of times with research, it takes about 5 years for it to become popularly understood. We're hoping that we're in the first and second year of discovering what about that new research really works and what about it needs refinement. And we hope to be a part of that refinement process, along with our teachers who bring their degrees, experience and skills and commitment. There's not a teacher here that doesn't have a passion, not only for children, but for children who are from families that may be facing extra struggles, and that takes an extra level of knowledge and commitment.
Let's meet that passion. Let's if you would, Mr. Schmidt, talk a little bit about your background that led up to Educare.
Most of my years were spent as an elementary school teacher, probably almost 12 years, and I noticed the children were always in my room that weren't still ready to learn. So I really they struggled. So that kind of led me down to the early childhood level. I wanted to be able to be in a position where kids could be nurtured, taught the social skills that they need, have secure attachments, so that they developed that self-concept, so that when they showed up for kindergarten, they were ready to learn. And then when I got them in second grade, they weren't struggling, because second grade is, you're still in that skill level. And I had kids that were not ready. They didn't, they couldn't do the basic skills. And once you move beyond second grade, you're becoming even more academic. The kids were falling further behind instead of moving ahead. So it really felt like the place to make the change was at the early childhood level. If you can prepare them socially and emotionally before they go to school, then they're going to be much more successful. And I like the idea that research was involved, so that they can come in and coach us, they can see what we're doing, they see what works. I just like being a part of the base level, because it's going to make a bigger impact down the road for all of them.
And that's awesome to hear you say that, because as we've talked a lot about, and most recently with the partners, the data is compelling. This is the greatest investment in education if we want to see what long-term gain is. So what's it been like from a teacher perspective to be part of a brand new concept? I mean, everything is brand new. How's that gone for you?
Oh, I love it. The rooms are big. There's plenty of space. There's plenty of light. The materials that you need are there. The kids are excited. And you know that I'm working at a level that I really feel strongly is going to make a difference. So I'm very passionate about it. You get to build attachments to the children. Some of the kids can be here, they're birth to 5. So if you have 5 years in an environment that is this nurturing and supportive, I believe in it. You're going to arrive at the door of kindergarten on the same level as everybody else.
Did you find your paper clips?
No, not yet.
Julia, before we go, we've talked a lot about the educational benefit to this, and certainly LPS, we see just amazing potential. There's also an economic impact to this too, and let's start with first, in terms of human capital. How many people, when you're fully staffed, will be employed here? And then, if you would talk a little bit about the economic impact of students who are at grade level when they begin school and they matriculate through the public schools and off into college.
Well, that's one of the beauties of Educare is that professionals can come here and grow. So there's room to grow. Somebody can be a teacher aide and develop professionally and become a lead teacher, and even develop professionally beyond that and become a master teacher. That's uncommon. So there's room for growth for our educators, and eventually we'll have 50 people in this building delivering services to the children. Some of them educators, some of them family engagement people, and some people who are doing the critical work like cleaning and cooking and watching the front desk. So we have a lot of really important roles that are sort of invisible as well. For the child, so there's huge economic impact there in terms of people being able to grow and become more professionalized here. That's a contribution to our community economically. Then there's the contribution of children who are prepared for life. Some research shows anywhere from a $1 to $7,000. $1 spent saves 700 to sometimes as high as 7,000. It just depends on which research you read. But I believe that it's a very sound investment in terms of savings in special education later, savings in, we know in criminal justice. We know that we see higher rates of employment, and even things like more marriage in children who have received high quality early childhood development services. So that's.
Well, as you can see, it's multidimensional in terms of the positive impact that this program is going to have on our kids and our community and ultimately the state. And as Marjorie Kostelnik talked, and I believe to be inherently true, this is going to attract others to see how this investment is going to pay great dividends. It really is about changing life trajectory, but the success of this program is going to be in the people. And with me today are two fantastic representatives of that, of what's happening in the classroom. So thank you both for being on the show. Good luck as you proceed. And I know we're still a new concept, but it's going to be new for a while. Let's enjoy it. Now I'm really excited to bring to you two of our parents that are taking advantage of the Educare opportunities. I have Shelby and Jessica, and I'm just going to ask them to talk about your family a little bit, and then what is it about? How did you find out about Educare, and what helped you make the decision to enroll?
Well, I found out about early Head Start through friends that had been in there. I was a teen parent, so I was looking for resources to finish going to school and being able to continue my education while Aubriana was at a safe place. So that's pretty much where sorry.
Okay.
I learned about early Head Start and Head Start just through community resources. And my daughter has been in early Head Start home-based program for about 2 years now. And my son has been at Head Start at the old Head Start Center since last August. And I really wanted them to be involved in the program to give them that advantage, that experience and advantage to go forward with their education, because I think education is very important.
Well, I think you both obviously believe education is really important. So, and this is such a new concept, and perhaps you'll have a better idea of this after a while. But what are your early impressions of this Educare concept?
I am very excited about it. The rooms are a lot larger, so there's more opportunities for the children to do different things that they weren't able to do before. The teachers are very, very nurturing to them, and when I leave, I know I don't have to worry about Aubriana, that she's in good hands, and I'm very excited to see how it's going to progress.
Great.
Yes, I completely agree with what Shelby said. The rooms are a lot bigger, so there's a lot more space for the children to interact, and they're not cluttered together in a small classroom setting. It also gives the teachers more availability to do certain projects and curriculum that maybe they weren't able to do at the old center because of the space issue.
You might not be able to answer this question, but I'm curious. What attendance center would your child be assigned to, the elementary school? Because my guess is, are you in the area here where it's easy to commute to, or are you having to make a commitment and commute?
Our area would be Cavett Elementary, so we have a very far commute every day, but it's completely worth it, 100%.
Awesome.
I'm not quite sure which elementary, but we're in the Southwest District, so we're very south, and it's about a 45-minute commute here.
So you're both, your families are making a major commitment to be a part of this concept. Well, I want to thank you both for sharing that with us, and best of luck as you launch on the maiden voyage of the Educare concept. But we are really pleased to have parents like Jessica and Shelby that believe that education is really the vehicle to the future, and this concept, this nurturing concept that is academic and social, also includes parent engagement and parent involvement, and these two are going to grow and develop along with their children, and that is going to produce a success that we hope to be able to market not only to the rest of Lincoln, but also to the state of Nebraska. So thanks to you for being willing to be a part of this, and have a great year.
Thank you.
This has been a presentation of Lincoln Public Schools. A monthly programming guide may be found at www.lps.org.